Give you the time to come in. That's on YouTube as well. So that's on YouTube.
That's good.
And then I have two different Facebook pages. And one has like 14,000.
So do you use StreamYard too?
That's what this is. It's
Oh,
called.
yeah.
So which screen is right? So
Okay.
that's good.
And I got to do that too.
Okay.
Wow.
I was trying to figure out how to do Instagram. I can't get Instagram hooked up for some reason.
I don't got Instagram. I probably have to set one up. But the lady that was messaging me, she said that if they shut down TikTok, that she needs a platform to reach me on. I gave her my Facebook.
Because she's only on TikTok.
And that's how much shut it down.
Did you that?
Yeah.
I was hoping that would be the case.
I should have probably shared it again to let people know that we'll be on here. I didn't share the post again. But either way it goes, they'll catch the replay.
There's another post you can share it on. I'll make sure to tag you. On your stream, I don't know how to tag people.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So now I haven't learned how.
Oh, okay.
It's probably easy.
Hopefully.
Just gotta play with it a little bit.
Oh, girl, I'll tell you the challenges I've had with technology.
Yeah.
It is just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little woman. I don't know what's going on.
But you learn.
But yeah, you see I'm using the webcam. The youngsters copyright this webcam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. You still use the webcam. It's okay. It's your journey.
It works.
It works.
It is my journey. Leave it alone.
Better leave
Look,
her
next time y'all
alone.
come, I'm gonna have a videographer standing over there with the camera.
Zooming in and
Yeah,
stuff.
like, okay, Stacey.
Better
I see
come on,
something different
guys.
going on here, girl. This ain't how it was a year ago.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important for me to for people to journal.
Yeah.
So they can
Oh, yeah.
they
So I do that. That's what I do. I journal a lot. And then when certain incidents come up, God will remind me of my journal to go back to something in there. So something I wrote last January 2024 meant something to me the other day.
Yes.
I was like,
Absolutely.
Because sometimes when he speaks to us, it might not make sense then, but it makes sense later.
Yes. That's why I said, of course, that I provide journals at every event that I do. I always have journals
What you doing is really powerful. Because you're turning people to God too. Do you know that? You're being a disciple.
I know. I believe it. You know what made me figure that out is the movie The Forge. Have you seen it?
Yes.
I cried, me too. And every time I watch it, I still cry. It's so amazing. But that is what made me feel like I am doing that.
God spoke to you.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it was powerful. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So it just lets you know that it's not just for men, it's for women too.
Oh, yeah. That's why this stuff is happening right now. Why I want to change and
you're helping people get delivered and healed.
I know.
So the enemy is after you. Your picture is posted up in hell.
Yeah.
Posted up in hell.
She's a problem.
She is a problem.
That's all wrong. Ain't that wrong?
Man, he's you wanna keep people trapped in generational curses and generational traits and ways and you know what most people say, well, this just who I am.
Yeah.
Like there's no room for change.
Yes, yes, yes.
So if you
Oh, I hate
constantly
that.
believe that
Yes, yes,
this
yes.
is just who you are, and then
Right.
some people believe that it's because of the zodiac sign. God is having me write a book on that right now.
Wow.
This the next one. But yes, so people believing in, oh, this is why I'm like this because I'm this
Yeah,
zodiac
yeah,
sign.
yeah, yeah.
So man, what God has revealed to me is that it's being held up as an idol, and you're not believing in what God said. You're believing in the stars and the horoscope and the zodiac.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it. Yeah.
And woke me up on my sleep with
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and with the title that I have for that specific book.
That's why I don't let people do me because I'm a Gemini. So this twin shiznit, that ain't who I am. And I don't like the stereotypical, so I feel you. I promise I do.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Well, we got
One
two
more
people
minute.
on there so far. Somebody came on and got off a little while
All right, y'all. How y'all doing out there? It's your girl Stacy. All right. So listen, before we get started, I gotta introduce my special guest here, Miss Arthur Qiana Moody.
Hello.
Y'all. Okay, let me get it right. Writer, author, motivational speaker, and mentor.
Glory to God.
Oh my goodness. Go on, girl. That's a lot behind your name. All right, I love it. So, okay, books. Let's get into the books real quick. So we have Voices of Women Unleashed in Justice.
That's correct.
Prayer Brings Everything to Pass.
Yes.
I love that. And the newest one, I Answered the Call.
Yes.
Right?
That's in the process of being published right now.
That's in the process of being published right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, y'all. So listen. If you know me and if you've been following me, you know that I have the Mom Can We Talk series, okay? And we have been doing them every 2 months. And Qiana, she was part of my women's edition, Mom Can We Talk? And she came and told her testimony, which was absolutely powerful, y'all. Powerful testimony. Now, for those of you that understand what testimony means in our culture, it means stories that we have to tell that we know the Lord has delivered us from. That's what a testimony is, right? And she has plenty of them to share with us. So I wanted you guys to hear and feel some of her stories in hopes that it might resonate with you or somebody you know that may have the same story that she's telling. But where is she today? Right? We are not our past. I need people to understand that we are not our past. And that's what Mom Can We Talk is about. We got to start talking. We got to start releasing. People are holding on to things. They're just letting it fester. And then they're mean, they're angry, they're negative. They don't know how, to have proper relationships with people because of this anger and trauma that they're holding on to. Okay? So let's listen to some of Miss Qiana's stories. I'm so excited. Okay.
So, I'm going to just start off with the scripture, a little bit of Revelations 12:11, and it says, they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And so my testimony it's powerful. Growing up, I was molested a lot throughout my childhood. Um, I grew up fast. I started having children at the age of 15. I got pregnant, but I was also addicted to cocaine. So the first boy that I was, pregnant by, he had introduced me to cocaine and alcohol, and I started to drink and do the drugs. I did it consistently throughout my pregnancy. I stopped right before I was supposed to have my baby, so my baby got to stay with me. My next pregnancy, I also did the same thing, but this child was taken. So he was born with cocaine in his system. Both boys were taken. I have 5 children total. Later on, I had another child, which he was taken as well. DCFS took him. So I was so addicted and in drugs that I could not do the things that I needed to do to get my children back. I was a stronghold. Like I couldn't get out of it. No matter how hard I tried treatment, I tried all the things, but I didn't try God. So this is what I learned now in my life right now. I tried everything but the right thing, and that was God. So yeah, and it's been such a journey. I later had two girls, and those girls got to stay with me. I
So at
got
what
the
age, excuse me, so at what age did you stop using the drugs? Was it before you had your daughters?
So I did stop for a while.
Okay.
I went through treatment. I went through parenting classes. I ended up being able to keep my daughter, my first daughter, and she was born in 2011. So around there, that's when I stopped for a while, and then I began again. So it's been these last past 2 years is the 2 years that I've been completely sober.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
if I wasn't on cocaine, I was on ecstasy pills, I was on pain pills, I was still addicted to something, cigarettes, vapes, all of that. I was always in addiction. And this has been 2 years of me, just being clean from those drugs.
That's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that's something you should celebrate.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So what ages are your children, and are you able to have better relationships with them now that the 2 years have passed? The boys too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my children are ages 18, no, 19, 18, 14, 13, and 8. So 3 boys, 2 girls.
Okay.
My oldest, he's in the Navy right now.
Okay.
He just came and visited me this month for about 4 days. So I got to spend time with him.
Okay.
And my 18-year-old, he's with his father, and my 14-year-old, he's with his father, and my 2 girls are with me.
Okay. I love that.
And over the past summer, my other 2 younger boys, they were here with me.
Okay. Okay. So you got to build a relationship with them too as well. So that's good.
So
that's
even
good.
over the years, I will still get them on weekends and spend time with them. I was not totally absent, but I wasn't there as much as I should have been. And in this next book that's coming out, I spoke about that a lot, about my absence and what I should have done better. And that title is I Answered the Call.
So do you think your upbringing had a role in what kind of woman you became?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
My mother was trapped in addiction. So I would see her smoking cigarettes and drinking all the time. And I became that same woman. You know what? I didn't like what I seen in her, but I still became that same way.
That's something.
That's something.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens. Yeah.
I would literally cry because of how she was. I was in and out of, foster homes, staying with different relatives and group homes and places I didn't want to be. All I wanted was my mother.
Yes, yes.
And I repeated it with my own children. I repeated the cycle.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. People don't understand that it will turn into a cycle.
It is,
and subconsciously, you're doing these things and don't even know that you're doing them until it's too late and you're already in it. Have you ever told your kids your story?
Yes. So they know what happened with me. Okay. I've been truly transparent and honest with them about my entire life. And I talk to my children about different things, how the men were with me. Things have happened to my older daughters that I'll later speak on, but I kind of, train my children up. I teach them about things that parents should teach their children. Like if an adult is asking you to keep a secret, they're not safe.
No.
They are not a safe person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's important.
It's very important because we have family members, relatives, people that we honestly trust with our children that have secret agendas and intentions are wrong. And they hurt our children and then they grow up bitter. And, because that's what happened with me. I was molested so much. Like every time I went around men, it feels like they was coercing me into doing oral sex on them or touching me inappropriately or something like that. And it just was like, wow, when is this going to stop? Like, I got to a point where, like, well, I guess this is just supposed to happen to me.
Right. It just feels normal because it's normally happening.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I hate that your mom didn't give you those tools. Like you said, you're giving your daughters those tools to say, hey, this is wrong if they
Yeah.
touch you in this manner, or if they come to you in this
Yeah.
manner. It is really important
Yeah.
that you have this conversation
Yes.
with your children, not just your girls, but your boys too,
Boys
because
too.
they are being molested too.
Yes.
Know that,
Yes.
okay? Know that. It's not just the girls, okay? And a lot of the boys ain't telling it.
Yeah.
They not getting ready to tell you.
Because they're ashamed.
Absolutely.
They're
And some of the
ashamed.
girls ain't either, because
Yeah.
they're ashamed as well.
Yeah.
We have to figure out a way
Yeah.
to communicate.
Exactly.
That is why at Mom Can We Talk events, we have mental health therapists walking around.
Yeah.
We also have resources that are there.
Exactly.
So if you're in a domestic violence situation, Rosebrook Domestic Violence Shelter is there.
Yeah.
You know,
That's awesome.
I mean, what could we got to open these doors of
Yes.
communication?
That's right.
It takes a village.
Yes.
It takes a village, right?
And when you were speaking about little boys, so the thing is they get raped or molested, and then they have that spirit of perversion on them, and they go and perform these acts on their siblings and their family members because it's something that's been done to them.
Yes.
So now it's happening generationally.
Absolutely.
And even if the parent finds out, most of the time they're secret about it. What happens in this house stays in this house, and it should not be that way. Because we can't break the cycles if we're constantly hiding what is being done. So the enemy doesn't want to be exposed. He wants to be kept in secret and hiding. So if you're saying what happens in this house stays in this house, you're concealing things, you're hiding, you're keeping them hidden. Whether you know it or not.
Yes. That's another subject too. Back in the day, our generation, not our generation, but the one before that, they kept stuff where they was gonna go to their grave with. I mean, literally gonna go to their grave with, in hopes that this generation does not find out about it, because it's some horrible stuff that has happened. You know, to damn near all of us. Like I would say 80% of the country, the world, something traumatic has happened to us as a child.
Yes. Yeah. And it's just what happens.
It is just what happens. But you know what? Our schools are crazy. Our neighborhoods are crazy. These kids are fighting. They're pitting each other against each other. How do you channel poverty and bullying and abuse? How do you channel that? Us as adults can barely do it. So how do we expect our young adults to? That's why they all out here going crazy. They don't have no direction. They don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know how to do that.
But what we can do as parents is introduce them to God. And in Proverbs 22:6, it says, train a child up in the way he should go, and he will never depart from it. So if we're instilling these things in our children, we're teaching them the right. Even if they do stray away, they'll come back to God. And that's what normally happens when we do introduce our children to God and we get them in a place with them. We take them to church and everything. When we get older, we want to experience the world for ourselves. So we turn away.
Oh, yes.
We turn away, but then we find out just how hard this world is, and we turn right back.
Yes.
Everybody's almost experienced that.
Absolutely. I was the same way. I didn't realize how God was even watching over me or had my back coming up out of all the shenanigans that I was out there doing. I know that I should have been way worse off, but I know he was watching over me, but I didn't realize that until later in life. Like, really, I didn't realize that at the moment, because I probably would have been doing a lot of, I know I would have done a lot of things differently if I knew God how I know God now. He's something else, y'all. I'm telling you. I have physically and literally have seen him at work. So I just don't understand how people don't believe and have faith in him. I know sometimes it's hard when you see all the drama and negativity and the things that people have went through and are going through right now. I don't even understand it completely. You know, but what can we do but to have faith and to keep moving forward and ask the Lord to watch over us and our family and our friends and our co-workers and, you know. Yes.
We got to intercede and pray for ourselves and our family.
Yeah. So when did you get to a point where you were like, okay, I have to follow God. I have to.
So that's something that I just recently wrote about in my book. So I was in a very, very toxic relationship about 2 years ago. And this is how I met God. He met me where I was, I should say.
Yeah.
So it was very toxic. He would always put me down and just treat me any kind of way. He would cheat and then use my car to do it. The woman would send me pictures of him in her bed naked with my car parked outside.
No.
Yeah, so it was a lot. Mentally, I was going through it. I attempted suicide twice. I slipped my wrist really deeply right here. I took a whole bottle of pills. I wanted to end my life because I was so tired. I felt like I had no reason to live. And that's when um, I was at work. I was a forklift driver. I was at work and I started typing stuff in about narcissism because I said something is wrong with this man for him to do me the way that he does. Something is wrong with him. And videos of Jesus started to pop up. And that's when I would listen. I'm on a truck for 12 hours, so I'm listening in my ear. I wouldn't turn it. And then I'm just listening, and it's touching my heart. So that's when I began to start praying. And it was like a call to me, like God was calling me back to him. Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. Yeah. And then I started praying more. He started revealing things to me in dreams and visions, even about this man. He was telling me that I had to leave him.
Wow.
And that's what I did. Yeah.
Did you have any kids, Mom?
No.
Okay, good. No. Good. So it was easy to just walk away.
Yes, it was. It wasn't easy, but I did it.
In an easy
because I was so trapped in love. I felt like I was, but it was a soul tie. It wasn't real love.
Yeah, some people use the kids as an excuse, right? Like, well, I didn't want to leave because of the kids, type of thing. And I mean, I get that to a certain extent, but you got to think about you and the kids.
Exactly.
Yeah. At the same time.
Yeah. Wow. And that was so unhealthy, not just for me, but for them as well, because they seen a lot of the arguments. They seen how angry and upset I was all the time. And it's like, wow, when I gave my life to God and the way that I began to change as a mother, my heart started to change. I would ask God, give me a clean heart. God, make me more like you, and he began to do that. So I went around apologizing to people after I got saved. I was apologizing to people for how I treated them, how I spoke to them. I was like, man, I was so wrong. Like I felt convicted. And it's so powerful. When God gets you, he got you.
Oh, definitely, he got you. Yes, he definitely got you.
Yes.
But that's the thing, when you see people out and about and they're mean and angry, they're that way for a reason, right? People just ain't mean for no reason. No. They're mean because of something.
And they need deliverance.
Yes.
Majority of the time it's because they're dealing with demonic spirits and they need deliverance. Yeah.
Oh, I can't do the demonic spirits. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to like what are them spiritual readers or
no?
Them people.
Yeah.
You know, no, okay.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Yeah, I've tried once before. It was scary. So let's hear about your journey now that you're starting to write your books, and I hear you're doing a lot of traveling now and about to do a little more traveling.
Yes.
So tell us about your journey in writing books and what made you decide to start putting it in book form.
So when I this past year, I was introduced to Dr. Evelyn Hill, and this is the book Voices of Women Unleashed in Justice. It's 21 of us authors all together in this book, and we're basically all telling our testimonies. It's available on Amazon as well. And then this is my book, Prayer Brings Everything to Pass. It's available on Amazon as well. But with this book, I was introduced to Dr. Evelyn Hill through another woman who was going to be an author in the book, but she dropped out, and I entered into her space. So we had a really big book launch when we finished the book, and a lot of people came. It was beautiful. And that night, I had a dream. God showed me us on a book tour, and I heard "Made to Lead Millions." And then we began to go travel after that. We went to Minnesota. We went to Oklahoma City and had a book launch. Wow. So yeah, it's been a beautiful journey, and I've just been going around telling my testimony. My chapter in here is chapter 12, and it's titled "Purpose Behind My Pain." And
Purpose Behind My Pain.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I tell my testimony, what I've been through in my life. Talked about losing my mother a little bit in there, about the man, how I left him, and it's filled with a lot. My son got shot last May, so I let him come and stay with me after that.
That's in here
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
He's staying.
when he got shot, yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
added that in there. My oldest son being in the Navy and
That's a good
different
picture.
things like that.
Yeah.
It's been a journey, but the way that God has transformed me and my mind is something just out of this world. Like I want everyone to have an experience like I have, like to just have encounter with God and just realize who He is and how much He loves us, because we all have a purpose.
Yeah.
Jeremiah 29:11, it says, I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. So He has plans for all of us.
Yes, yes.
And His plans are good and not evil.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so hard though, because sometimes He be moving slow.
Yeah.
You be like, Lord, now I'm ready.
But it's His timing.
I know you think you're ready and you
It's
want to
His
be
time.
ready. I feel like I'm ready for a lot of different situations.
Yeah.
And I talk about it with them all the time, but it gets hard because you're waiting. You're having faith that He will come, but at the same time, it can get a little overwhelming.
It can.
Yeah,
It can.
it could definitely get a little overwhelming. So then your next book, Prayer Brings Everything to Pass.
Yes. So in this book, I wrote about anxiety, depression, anger, all of these different things that we deal with. This is a beginner's guide, just for those that are just now coming into Christ and on their journeys. And I wrote about the 7 deadly sins. I wrote about the mountains of influence, all of the things that are important, the commandments, the 10 commandments, help with, to overcome laziness, all these different things that are important on our walk. And, spiritual gifts. I spoke about spiritual gifts in the book as well. So it's just a guide for beginners,
Wow.
To help them. It's the prayers are 2 scriptures and then a prayer. And, the scriptures is telling you where to find what you're going through in the Bible. And then it's got a little prayer.
Go with it?
Yes.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And those are on Amazon, y'all.
Yes, it's on Amazon and Barnes and Noble as well.
Prayer brings everything to pass.
Yes.
I love that. And then the one that you're working on now, or getting published now, I Answered the Call. Now,
Answered the Call.
What's that about?
And that book is basically about my spiritual journey with God. When I gave my life to God, how I knew He was communicating with me, the different signs. God also communicates with me with repeated numbers. So He'll show me numbers. He gives me dreams and visions. So it's His ways of communicating with me. And I basically was very transparent because I want people to know that God can speak through anything. So if you're seeing these things or hearing these things, He's speaking to you. So I'm just bringing awareness and just being honest about my journey, and it wasn't easy. I spoke about my car was stolen when I first moved here, and I went through a lot. Even with what's going on in my life right now with my children is very hard. And one day I am going to speak about it so others can heal from that too, because there's so many people out here that go through it. But at the same time, I'm just because we give our life to God does not mean we're not going to go through things.
Right, unfortunately.
That's what needs to be known.
Right.
People think, oh, well, it's going to get easier for me. No, you're going to still go through things. But the thing is, you're going to have God and you're going to be able to get through better. He's going to give you strength and peace in certain situations, understanding,
Yes. Wow. Yeah. So what advice would you give a young lady that is going through what you're going through now? Again, you've been through it, you've been delivered, you're working to heal from it. But what advice would you give that little girl or that young lady who is living through some of the stuff that you've been through now?
I would advise her to find someone that she can trust to talk to about what exactly is going on with her. It doesn't necessarily have to be a family member, but find somebody that you can trust, but also pray to God, because He'll help you in those situations. He'll help bring you out. And, journal, write down the things that you're going through, and just talking and healing, finding even a counselor, because the way we heal sometimes is through writing, is through speaking about things, just being able to trust in somebody. But we also know that we can't trust everybody.
Right.
So it's hard when you're going through, because that's why I didn't speak, because I didn't feel like nobody would believe me. So I kept a lot of the things I went through to myself. Yeah.
And see, that's a problem. We cannot do that.
We can't. No.
You have to tell it. You have to say something.
You have to
right?
say something.
You cannot hold on to that. I'm telling you, it festers. The word I like to use, it just festers inside because you hold on to it. You got to talk about it to somebody, and that's part of healing. Telling the counselor, telling your teacher, telling your grandma, telling your uncle, telling whoever it is that you have that relationship with, that you know you can tell and they're going to believe you, right? Because unfortunately, and I hate this, I hate to say it, but there are kids that have told their mother flat out, Mom, this is what's happened, right?
Kept the man in the home.
Yeah.
Didn't believe him.
And didn't believe him. This one thing, it ain't even one thing. They didn't believe him, right? I had a girl on my show that had that happen. Her mom kept sending her to Uncle house, and she kept telling her mom she did not want to go. Oh, baby, go. Uncle asking for you. Well, yeah, he asking for her. You see what I'm saying? Come on. Pay attention to your kids' surroundings and people. Even boyfriends. Even boyfriends. The housekeeper. The one that's the nice one. You never know.
And that goes for the boys and girls. But I also want to mention, be careful who you send your children to when you're trying to go to the club or go party, because you want to go have fun. You don't know who's over there that could potentially hurt your child. We don't know everybody that comes around. Like, say, for instance, your kid is going to spend a night with a best friend, but you don't know what uncle comes around. You don't know what brother is there that could potentially hurt your child. And then now they have that stuck with them, and now they're hurting.
Yes. So let's bring up the mentoring side of Miss Qiana.
Yes.
So what's going on with your mentoring?
Right now, I mentor a group of girls at Restart Shelter. Every Friday, I go there and I speak to them. It's been phenomenal because they're understanding that they have past trauma that they just have not dealt with.
Yes.
So the things that we speak about, the things that I talk about through my testimony, it brings those things up in them, and they realize, oh, I need to heal from this. This is hurting me. This is why I'm the way I am. This is why I'm bitter.
Yes.
So now they're wanting to reach out for help. They're wanting to speak about it. They don't want to hold it in anymore. Right. So it's so much breakthrough speaking with them. And I love that God has put me in a position that I'm able to do that. Because what I am to them, I did not have that. Right. So now I'm able to help others.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And that goes to show that you are almost healed. You're like 80% healed. Yeah. If you're able to mentor and give love and affection to somebody else, right? Then that shows that you're going in the right direction.
Exactly.
I love that.
Showing them compassion and kindness. And when I hugged them, one of them texted me and said, you know what? Thank you so much just for that hug. Because this is what we need. Yeah. If they're in a shelter already, they're going through something.
Absolutely.
Just last December, I was in the same shelter that they're in.
Wow.
God brought me through. This is a part of the journey that he had me go through. So when I first came here to Kansas City, Missouri, this is where I ended up, in the shelter. Yeah. And now I'm there mentoring others. Leaving out because I'm going to get ready to transition to a whole nother city. Right. So I'm back where I started. Yeah. It went full circle. Wow. So he needed me to see the process in that so that I could be that help to others. Yeah. And when they called me and asked me to do that, I said, of course I could. Yeah. They said, because you've been through so much and I feel like you can help them. Yeah. And I said, yes, I'll do that. Yeah.
See, that's what it's all about, y'all. Yeah. It takes a village. Yeah. If you give some of your time just to give back to people that are hurting, I'm telling you, we'd be in a better place with each other, right? Everybody is just mean and angry and negative. I mean, you just walk through the door and somebody's frowning. You know,
Yeah.
what's wrong, baby?
Yeah.
You know, they got all this stuff they holding on to,
Right.
right? So listen, I appreciate you coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Is there anything else you'd like to, get off your chest, let people know about you, what you got coming next, that kind of thing?
Well, at the moment, I can't really speak on a lot of the things that I have coming up next, but I just want to encourage others to be more positive. Even if you're going through, just help someone because it will make you feel better. Even volunteering, going to a community shelter or outreach, and just helping somebody else, it could bring joy to you. And pray every day, pray in the morning, pray at night. God will deliver and heal you from things that you don't even understand. And he'll bring it to the forefront and he'll help you get through those things. But we cannot do it by ourselves. We need God. We need him to help us.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I was watching this movie last night where the grandfather, he was shunning his grandson because as they grew up, the grandson idolized him. He loved it. The grandson always was running behind him. But now the grandson is wearing makeup and he's transitioning into that another situation.
Yeah.
Well, the grandpa has passed judgment against him, and I don't even want to deal with him no more. Don't even want to be around him. What's your thoughts on same-sex relationships?
I was myself in a same sex relationship for 4 years. My mother, she actually dated women all of my life. The way I got my last name was because my mother married a woman. So it's what I think about it, and I'm gonna be truly honest about it. It's something that the enemy plants in us. It's not. It's not. We were not born that way, and because God created Adam and Eve, and we have to remember that. And I understand that this might upset some people, but it's the truth. And I want to be very honest. God created man for woman and woman for man. So anytime that you're in those situations, you're going to go through because God did not create you to be that way. So that's why majority of same-sex relationships are very toxic, are very argumentative, and you're not happy. You don't really have peace because this is not the way we're supposed to live. God said that we should be fruitful and multiply. If you're with the same sex, you cannot be fruitful and multiply.
Yeah.
So we need to remember that. Yeah.
I feel like that some people they go to a same-sex relationship because they've been hurt
Yes.
in previous relationships, and they feel like that if they go to this side, it's going to be better.
Yeah.
But no, that is not the case,
No,
baby. It is not the case. It is not always better on the other side. Now, if you get in that and that happens and you feel like, no judgment here at all. You know what I'm saying? God is the one that you have to deal with on that level, right? But at the same time, for those of you that are confused and don't know where you at and what you're supposed to be doing, baby, listen, stay where you are, right? And try to have proper relationships with a man or with a woman, whichever one opposite of, right? Because I'm telling you, it's just going to be more healthier for you.
Yeah.
All that other stuff, it just brings turmoil and more negativity in your life. But again, if you live in life and everything's good, no judgment, do you? I'm just worried, right? Because I don't know what he thinks. I don't know what he forgives, right? We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't. So yeah, I wanted to ask you that. I have dealt with women over the years, but it was more a lustful spirit for me. It wasn't somebody that I wanted to have a relationship with or marry or anything like that.
You got to remember what you just said behind that. It's spirits behind it.
Oh, yeah.
It is not who we are.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
It's
I believe
not
that.
who we are.
Yeah, in this day and age, I love women. I think they're beautiful, but I'm looking for my king.
Okay.
Where you at now? You out there somewhere, sugar? Your girl ready for? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Stay focused. Stay focused. All right. So, can we give our audience some information on how to contact you?
So,
anybody got any questions for Arthur Moody?
So here's my business card. My email too, if you want to reach me by email, is qmoody74@gmail.com. If you would like to speak to me about anything, the number you can reach me at is 913-608-9178. That is 913-608-9178. If you just need to talk, somebody, that could be there for you, mentor, anything, anything that I've spoken about that you are dealing with, I could be there for you.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Listen, we are not our past. I say that all the time.
We're
hey,
not.
ladies, do y'all have any questions for Miss Qiana? Let me know. We are not our past, and anything that's happened in our past, let's talk about it. Get it to the forefront,
Yes,
and let's start having proper relationships with people, with our significant others.
Yeah.
People arguing and fussing and fighting all the time, and that's because they got all this stuff held up and don't want to let that stuff go.
Yeah.
Come on, that's not fair.
Yeah.
Do the work. It takes a little work,
Yes.
but do the work, right? If you need mental health therapists, I know plenty of them now. We're doing this event. I'm telling you, it took me forever to get some mental health therapists that were willing to come out and be that voice. They even have stories, right? I need our young adults to understand that everybody has a story.
Yes.
Everybody. Your mama, daddy, uncle, cousin, everybody. And hey, some people hold on to things they'll never tell you. They'll never tell you. And some people hold on to things they better get out before they explode, and they bring that toxicity to other people in their life. And
you can run
especially their
people
kids.
away. You can run people away with the characteristic traits that you have. When you feel like, oh, this is just who I am, it is not. You need healing. We are not, we're not here to be angry and bitter all the time. God wants us to have peace and joy. But we pray for it. We have to ask God, what is in my life that is causing me to not have peace, to not have joy? What is it? Bring it to the forefront. What is going on with me? What do I need to heal from? These are the things that we need to pray about.
Yes. Please be fair to yourself and to others. It is not fair for someone else to take on your trauma. Okay? So please be mindful of that. Listen, Mom, can we talk? The next one is March 1st, all right? It said Chicken and Pickle, 11 to 3. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. They're free, okay? Come and hang out with us. And check out Miss Qiana on Amazon. She has several books on Amazon right now and one coming right now as we speak. Yes. So thank you for coming.
The glory goes to God.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, thank y'all for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Hugs and kisses.